Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RedSeaPodcast. This is Dennis, as always, coming to you on late, relatively, Friday. No, on a late Saturday afternoon. I'm sorry, I have my days mixed up. And I'm going to be a bit more unprepared for the start of this one than I expected to be, because my eye just fell on a rumor that is flaring up more and more, which I do really want to give my first thoughts on. But in general, as always, this has been a full Olympiacos day, but we'll touch more on the games in general on Monday for the usual weekend recap of it all. So for today, it's just going to be yesterday's game, yesterday's win away at Lyon. A win that we all sort of expected, but a win that proved to be a bit more complicated than it had to be. But honestly, I've seen a lot. I've seen too much complaining for a game that just was supposed to be a win, even with half points difference, because you are basically doing a chore. But we'll get into all of that when the time is due. Now, without wanting to really get into it too much, I don't want to skip this one, as I don't want to skip any of these achievements. I just want to drop a quick congratulations to our ladies in water polo for lifting another cup, bringing home the 10th title of the season against Vouliagmeni, and bringing home title number 3 for 2. It's being treated as just another title, but that's a testament to the prestige that we've set. I think that's a testament to what Olympiacos means, to what is expected, because it is expected for Olympiacos to be on top. And when you're talking about a team with this quality in a game of such chaos, because the games against Vouliagmeni are always very chaotic, to be honest, very, very entertaining. And in a game in which, honestly, there is very few games, especially very few finals, in which the refereeing decisions have been worse, in my opinion. You have to applaud the girls. You can't just skip it, because these girls have been making us proud for a while. They look unstoppable, they look unbeatable, they look unmatchable, and they have even bigger games yet to come, and they have even bigger amounts, perhaps unfathomable amounts of success on the way. And I can't wait, as I'm sure I'm speaking for absolutely everybody. It's looking like a very historic season for this team. It's looking like they're gonna just gun for everybody and get everything. So I can't wait to report back to you all on even greater success. But getting into the thing that kind of, well, caught me off guard. I feel like caught me off guard is a bit of an understatement. Perhaps I didn't expect this to come out today, especially bad timing as in me having like 5 minutes to go live before I basically saw this. Of course, I'm talking about the flaring up rumors of Cody Miller-McIntyre signing, or at least being very close to signing for Olympiacos for next season. Of course, we've all seen what Cody can do at Zvezda. We've all seen his unique characteristics, his unique game, the positives he brings, the negatives he has, and everything in between. And there have been a lot of divisive opinions in regards to Cody signing for Olympiacos. And again, I am not trying to pass off news that this is happening. Okay, I am purely just giving my first thoughts on a rumor, on a possibility. Take it as you wish. Just don't take it as a certainty, at least not yet. But yeah, I've seen a lot of divisive opinions on Cody Miller-McIntyre and his possibility in signing with the team. And honestly, I don't know. I love Cody as a guard. I really, really do. I love Cody as a guard. But I don't know what this signing could possibly mean. I don't know what a confirmation of Cody signing for Olympiacos means for the rest of the planning. Of course, it is supposed at least that one of Montemoris and Corey Joseph will depart at the end of the season. No clue what's going to happen with Frank Likina. I don't know if the team is going to go for one or two cuts. We'll see about that. Of course, earlier on today, there was some talk about an early extension for Thomas Walkup, which I'm in full agreement with. I'm in full agreement with an early contract given to Thomas. And I do feel some at least hesitant positivity in regards to how well Thomas and Cody would work together. I just want to wait and see before I give a full opinion, before I talk about the signing in detail. I just want to wait and see how much basis it really has, or if it's just another throwaway rumor. Of course, I will update you all. Socials are below. I will be updating you all the more sure that I am. And of course, with every confirmed signing, we will be bringing back the transfer talk. I am planning at least to put out as many focused episodes as possible, not just for football, but basketball as well. Last summer was basically a trial-ish for the transfer talk series to see how much I could actually handle a scout report, but I believe I found a style that you all liked, and I got a lot of positive feedback. And basically, the basketball trial of it all was Tyson Ward. So, if the confirmations just start running through, we'll get to it when the time is due, as always. But now, without stirring a perhaps empty pot for too long, let's get into the game. As I said in my first thoughts when the game was over, I felt like this phrase, for those of you that are watching on video, this phrase right here, the win is a win. I felt like that game was the definition of that phrase. We are talking about a game that wasn't flashy, it was a bit scrappy, a bit chaotic at least. We did see a game in which mistakes were relatively plenty. I don't want to really overdo it, but we did have 16 turnovers to, of course, as well as 10. But we also saw a game in which quality prevailed, right? Of course, for example, I am going to get into it more specifically, but the protection, quote unquote, of the front line was insane. And for example, the rebound difference of plus 17 on our end, as the rebound stood 30 to 47, really showed enough on the quality side. Of course, shot-wise, field goal-wise, we did stand at a 45 with 26 out of 58. Of course, that being brought down a lot by the three-point percentage, once again, as it was at 6 out of 22, but with negatives, positives, as I said, as we really controlled the game, apart from very minor moments. Of course, we did have a very small stint in which we were trailing, but that was like a minute and a half of the game as a whole. Of course, the outlier itself was the third quarter, in which we really took a while to get going. Of course, the quarter in which the difference just snapped to a close as we ended halftime on a +8, and we ended the third on a +3. But as I said, with negative outliers come positive ones, at least depending on how someone prepares it. As we are standing at the top of the Euroleague, along with Fenerbahce, of course, passing them as things stand on the same record. And again, I did put out a question to you all last night of whether you believe in the curse, whether you do just go along with it jokingly, or whether you don't care in the slightest. And I actually got way more mixed results than I expected. Of course, my personal stance is that I don't really mind where we finish as long as we have the advantage on our side, as long as we do finish top 4, which I feel like was always expected. But even if stuff happens and we finish first, I do understand the fact that it doesn't really show much, as we have finished first before and gotten nothing for it. But I don't really go ahead and pay attention to the fact that, oh yeah, it's impossible to lift it if you finish first. If the team goes on to finish first, then I'm more than happy for it to happen. Even though there is the chaotic possibility of immediately getting pana in the playoffs if we finish first, which is going to be just insanity that I can't even begin to honestly comprehend. And I do want your opinions below, whether you're watching after, whether this is a clip or anything, how would you feel if we did get matched up with Pana? Because I know that I say it semi-jokingly, but I can't really fathom the chaos that would occur in a 5-game series outside of the GBL finals. Like 2 5-game series in the span of a month and a half. I feel like that would shatter some peace in reality, and especially this may come off a bit arrogant, but especially if we knock them out of their own Final Four. I feel like something or someone, would just implode. I feel like some people would just cease to exist. I don't know. And the momentum, I know I'm going off on a hypothetical tangent now. Like it's a podcast. It's a random conversation. And again, I do want your opinion below. The momentum that the team and the fans would get if we did match up with Pana, knocked them out of their own Final Four, and went on to actually just go guns blazing in Athens, in their stadium. I feel like it would be too much. But we'll get to it when we get to it. The point that I'm trying to make is that even though there are a lot of chaotic possibilities that may come with it, I really don't care about the first place cares. I'm happy if we finish the regular first. I'm happy. If we finish the regular second behind Venner, I'm still gonna be happy. Goal is the same, advantage is the same, and I am gonna go on a limb and say that I don't really fear any team when it comes to a series. Like, okay, one-offs are different, and we've seen that before, but I don't really fear any team when it comes to a series. I can't say that I feel like any team doesn't knock us out when it comes to a series. I don't think there is any capability, any possibility of that, especially knock on wood with a full healthy Olympiacos. Of course, Tyrik's out now. Tyrik is expected to return in the playoffs, or maybe a bit earlier. We'll see. Of course, the team knows best. But with a full healthy Olympiacos, at least as healthy as possible, I don't really see anyone knocking us out in the series. So I'm happy with whatever ends up happening. And then, of course, the Final Four is a different story in and of itself. But yeah, as I said, we'll get to it when we get to it. Now, have to talk about this one first. Like, come on. Sasha Vezenkov, the stability of a bad night and the start of a good one. I feel like I'm sounding like a severely broken record at this point. But the things that Sasha is doing, and the fact that they go so unnoticed, like it's normal, are mind-blowing to me. they, even though I know the player that Sasha is, they are honestly mind-blowing to me. And as I said when I did post my MVP, which of course was in agreement with the team, which of course is the man himself, I heard someone talking about just turning on their MVP mode, and I can't fathom that anyone seriously can think that they have a better chance of winning MVP than Sasha Vezenkov, right? The stability and the consistency that this man has given to the team ever since, like after, okay, I'm not gonna go ahead and say that it's the entire season, but December and after, and we're in early April, the consistency that Sasha Vezenkov has had when we've gotten back the Sasha Vezenkov that even on his horrible night, he'll give you 17 and 5, and on his good night, he may give you a 35-point double-double. For example, last night, not the best of games. He played 27, he scored 23. He had 7 rebounds, and he was crucial defensive-wise with 2 steals and 0 turnovers to his name. 0. And that's a mediocre. That's a performance. I've said that everyone brings in positives that no one else can match, and that's why this team works so well. But the things that Sasha Vezenkov brings to the team are insane. And honestly, it's the simple fact of that's why he's the best in Europe on his day. That's why he's the best by far in Europe on his day. And speaking of someone on his day, the man that takes the phrase of springing to action a bit too literally. The man that I even can't physically keep up with. And the man that's on the form of his life, and that's Donta Hall. Donta Hall, of course, in 21, he dropped 14 with 100%. He had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a defensive contribution of an absolute madman. This man came in and the game changed. I don't know if anyone can seriously sit here and say that one of our main, that they expected at least, one of our main game changers on the start of April would be Donta Hall. But the way this man has molded his game to come in, and whether he gets 5, whether he gets 10, or whether he doesn't play in the Euroleague and comes in and plays 20 in the league, it's admirable at minimum, right? The energy, the explosiveness this man brings to the game. He's a human spring with the size and the force of a tank. He's a freak athlete. The athleticism that this man possesses is insane. It's insane. And the best part of it all is that this man is just enjoying basketball. Of course, Donta's story is unbelievable. And I don't think that I would really do it justice if I told it. So for those of you that do not know, I'll try and link it somewhere, but if I forget, do go look it up. Do go look up Donta Hall's story, why he started basketball, when he took it seriously, his number and stuff like that. It's more than admirable, it's more than respectable. But you look at a lot of other centers that wouldn't start for a lot of teams having complaints about game time. And you look at Donta Hall, who especially on a form like this, he'd start for most, if not the whole of the EuroLeague. Not only accept that he's at least labeled as a third choice center here, but give it his 1,000%. And that itself, that type of loyalty, that type of love for not only the game itself, but the club, can get you a lot of things. And that is a vital piece in getting us the title. And if Donta continues like this, and again, knock on wood, if Tyreek comes back as soon as possible and as healthy as possible, with the man that's back and more hype than ever in Mustafa Fall. That front line, I know that I put up a subtitle as a frontline protection, but honestly, thinking about it, the more fitting title may need to be frontline excellence, because we've talked about it many times that Olympiacos has the best frontline in Europe by a mile and a half. By a mile and a half, and I dare you to try and dispute me on that. And we've talked about that with Milu, Tyreek, and Hall. Add Fall to the equation for everything that's needed. Even solely the GBL. It's excellent. It's pure, unmatched excellence. And speaking of Iludinov, I know that the game didn't really fit him. I know that he didn't really have his night. And of course, that went a bit unnoticed because just Donta did what Donta does lately. But this man still almost got himself a double-double with 10, 9, and 3 in 19. Unbelievable that on an off night. It's a similar case with Vezenkov. On an off night, this man is having such a good confident season that on an off night, he'll get as close as possible to a double-double. And even on an off night, again, it will go unnoticed because someone else from that excellent front line will have the perfect game to cover him. And vice versa, right? There will be maybe one of the next games where Milu pops off. I'm sure Milu will go insane in the next few games. And Hall may take a step back. Or it may continue to be like this and Hall just overperforms to the moon and Milu takes a step back. Or Tyreek can come in guns blazing back from his injury. You never know because this group, this front line is incredible. And all that comes back to honestly be a testament to the team itself. Now, I want to address a specific group of people. Why I again broken record, perhaps severely. Why are we so toxic? Why can't we just go ahead and say that a win is a win? I saw people complaining like we lost by 20 last night. I saw people complaining like we are fighting to stay in the play-ins. I saw people complaining that we're never going to leave the Euroleague with this type of basketball. We are first. We are first. And again, I'm not focusing on the position. I'm focusing on the record being 23 and 12. We are first. We are the most efficient team in the league. We are the most chemistry-filled team in the league. And we stand here and talk about how he's bad, he's washed, I'm tired of him. We won. It was never going to be a possibility, but I don't even want to imagine. I don't even want to imagine what would have happened if we lost that game. What would happen if we were on the form that Fener is in right now? And they're barely just scraping up a win if even. What would happen? Thomas Walkup has got the most stick as usual because for some reason Thomas Walkup is the scapegoat of this team. And yeah, I know that he had 0 points again. But this one played the 18 minutes, had 3 rebounds, he had 7 assists and a steal. I don't know why people can't fathom in their head that you have a guard that will not only be very good defensively, but even in his worst night, he'll give you 5 assists plus. I don't know why people can't fathom that. And again, we've talked about this extensively again and again and again, and I don't want to talk about this again. But I am aware of the negatives of Thomas Walkup. But if you cannot see the positives that this man brings to the game, I'm sorry, you are blind. Criticism is more than accepted for Thomas Walkup, for Evan Fournier, for Montemoris, Tyler, Milu, etc., Bartzokas, and so on and so forth. But why, when the team is sitting on top of the Euroleague, why do we have to take it to such extremes? Like, I saw people talking bad about Milutinov. Like, come on. We're talking about the third most efficient player in the league. And you're saying that he's not playing well enough because he had a mediocre night, which again, he almost got a double-double. Because he had a mediocre night away at Lyon. In a meaningless game, mind you. Come on. The team is going to get better. We are heading into a very important final stretch, and the team is going to get better. I've seen people be so disrespectful. So disrespectful towards half the team, and it's insane. We have Madrid on the 7th, we have Hapoel on the 9th, and we have Milano on the 16th. It's those 3 games left. I promise you, I stand here and I promise you that the team is not going to look anywhere near how it did last night on any of those games. And I beg of you, as I sit here and get ready to close off slowly but surely, I beg of you to support this team because they do deserve it. And we have a chance to not only make up for everything that's happened in the past 4 years, this season. But we have a chance to alter a lot of things. We have a chance to get some deserved success and to close a lot of mouths. So please be behind them unconditionally. Criticize to a logical level and support to an insane one. And that's about it from me for today. Quick little effective recap ahead of very important period of games in general. Of course, playoffs are back tomorrow. If stuff goes as expected, I will see you all tomorrow because it's a very important start to the playoffs and we will more than likely have a lot to talk about. If not, I'll see you Monday no matter what. Whether we do a show tomorrow or not, I will see you Monday for the weekend recap of the Erastéchni. And a lot of things are coming as a lot of things are closing up in the season as we get closer and closer to the chaotic end of a lot of leagues, a lot of cups, a lot of European competition. Thank you all for the insane support once again. Better things are coming, more content is coming, and we are planning a lot of things that I feel like you'll all just love, honestly. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.